Now we're going to talk about assignments, and there are 3 assignments. Assignment number 1, you may remember at the very beginning, I talked about sitting in a Lifeway Christian bookstore with the assignment that I could only choose 1 book. In fact, I chose 2 books. But, well, pretend you are in a Lifeway Christian bookstore in your house, and you have Christian books spread out before you. Pick maybe 5 or 10, and select only 1 or 2 books to be the books that are really the quality books. This will help you practice your discernment. As you do this exercise repeatedly, it will help you build confidence too in selecting new Christian books to add to your library. Okay, assignment number 2 is closely related. Try to weed books out of your library, not because you want to have fewer Christian resources, but on the one hand, you want to share Christian resources, and on the other hand, you want to have the best, the most quality resources available for your children. I love it when my 2-year-old toddles over to our bookshelf, picks off a wonderful gem of a book, and sits down and looks at the pictures or asks me to read it, and it's wonderful. Now, he could pick all sorts of books. If I still had the library I used to have, he could pick a book we got from a yard sale, or a book from one of my relatives with too much text, a book someone at church gave us that's kind of unusual. But instead, he picks the very best books because I've been weeding out my library. So, for example, if you had these books in your library, Jesus Saves the Gospel for Toddlers, or this story, which is really good, The Easter Story by Patricia Pingree, if you were going to give away one, if there were a child knocking on your door, which has happened to me, saying, "Tell me about Jesus," and you could only give her one, and you couldn't rebuy it, would you give her this one and keep this for your child? Well, it's a question you have to think about, but I would encourage you to weed some resources out of your bookshelves just so that you have the most quality ones available at hand quickly and easily. Okay, assignment number 3, if you choose to accept this challenge, make a draft of a Christian children's book. I highly recommend this activity to help you think through what sorts of messages are the best messages to include in a Christian children's book. What images will you include? I love the images from Psalm 103. As high as the heavens are above the earth, so great is the Lord's love for us. As far as the east is from the west, so far has he removed our transgressions from us. So these images would be good to include in a Christian children's book. And who knows, maybe your Christian children's book will be developed, will be produced eventually if you continue working on it. I would like to encourage you to use the loaves and the fish that you have to bless God's kingdom and to help God's children hear the good news that Jesus died for their sins and lives.